Hello, I'm Cat and welcome back to Store Sunday. This is a series I run on some Sundays on the channel where I talk about Minecraft store content. So, given that the Minecraft store is a mock version of Minecraft now, one of the big questions about it is whether something is worth your money or not. You obviously can't buy everything in this store, and given that there is no trial system, it's tricky to work out what is or isn't worth your time, money, etc. So, one of the things I like to do is pick up some of the more interesting looking pieces of content and let you know whether it is as interesting as it does look. And today I wanted to do that, but with the Tiny Footprints texture pack. This is the newest piece of content as of me recording this video on the store, and it's also one of the most enticing looking just by that thumbnail. Like, seriously, look at that. So I figured I'd spend the 660 coins it requires, again a little bit more expensive than normal, and actually give you a full kind of review on this texture pack and let you know exactly what I think of it, because it is a very interesting idea for a texture pack. It takes Minecraft and it turns all the 16-bit textures into 8-bit, so it takes away 75% of the pixels of Minecraft, but it manages to make a better looking game in my opinion, or at least a more interesting looking game, and I'm going to be talking about how they do that in today's video and what I think about it. So hopefully you do enjoy this video. Like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel and lets me know you do enjoy this sort of video. And again, I really feel that these are a useful series on the channel because it helps you, know if some things worth picking up that you otherwise couldn't base on anything besides like a thumbnail. Imagine if you had to purchase this YouTube video before you watched it. Like, sorry, can't watch this review unless you pay $1. It's like, I don't know if something's worth purchasing just by the thumbnail, and that's the same thing here. So yeah, we're gonna be, hopefully this series does help you. That's the reason I like to run it. And let's also just talk about the fact that this is my Let's Play world, a world you should be familiar with. Again, I play it my Let's Play world all the time, so that's why you might recognize it a little bit, but it's an older version of it, so things are a little bit weird. But yeah, let's just talk about straight away. The first thing you'll notice in this texture pack is that it looks very similar to vanilla, even though they took away 75% of the pixels. Again, turn it from 16-bit to 8-bit. A lot of the, that's the majority of the detail gone there, right? Although it looks like vanilla with pretty much no detail removed. Like, there are a few areas where it looks like there's more detail, like the grass has like more texture. I don't have to describe it besides saying like there's more texture to the grass, and the lava, for instance, you can see has like little molten bits in there. But most things look pretty much the same, which is a thing which I really cannot praise enough. So many texture packs just figure like, oh, let's just look at each individual block separately, and then you take it on your vanilla worlds, and it's just, it hurts your eyes and you have no idea what's going on. This is a really usable texture pack. Also, they even did it with item textures. You can see the golden apple, super 8-bit. But yeah, the fact that they did that for every individual texture, and then they made the texture pack as a whole at least usable for the first time, I think that's really great. It makes it really easy to pick up, so you have to give them some props for that, I would say. And the second thing I'd have to give them props for is probably the water, because the watercolors, which in this world are really ugly because of how swamp water works, in this world, like the greenness to it, although it's a little bit, it's not great, I really love the different watercolors. Like, here's like a bright blue, again, much better than vanilla water, and then the ugly black waters from the swamps, because I think this is a swamp, turn into this nice kind of green that's at least, it's visually interesting at the very least. I wouldn't say it's bad or good, I'd say it's at the very least interesting, and you get like a nice effect from that. So yeah, you have to give it some props for that, I would say. Really nice water, really nice lava, and really nice textures in general, because you can just see them and understand them. But one of the things that I really like the most is looking at mobs. So we look at this mob right here. They took the sheep and they just turned its face into a 3x3 thing. So it's just one block for the eye, one block for the other eye, and one block for the mouth. It means every single mob looks so adorable in this texture pack. And again, one of the things Minecraft does well is like, the mobs, you just want to be friends with them. But that's actually also true for pretty much every mob you'll find around the place. So we look at this wolf here, for instance, which is, I think he's trying to chase off the sheep that I just have. But if we look at this wolf right here, if we can find his face, which we can't because what the heck is going on with this wolf? But yeah, you can see he's got the exact same thing going on. Like, oh, it's a wolf, but it's super adorable. So yeah, you'd figure taking the having less pixels to actually show something would make it look worse, but somehow they've actually got the design right on these things. So that look at this, look at the pig. Like, this is something about it that's just like perfect in my opinion. So yeah, really big fan of like the simplified thing. It actually works, and it actually manages to add style at the same time. But let's look at some builds, because I'm sure if you do use this texture pack, you'll convert some worlds over, and you want to know like, will they look the same? And for most like common blocks, I'd say the woods, the stones, even the concretes and the stuff like that, the wall colors, for instance, it looks about the same. Like, you can barely spot the difference. It looks a little bit like the plastic texture pack, if you're familiar with that one. But yeah, like stuff is like vaguely familiar. But then there's a few blocks where things are just entirely different. So over here, for instance, brick has turned into this, and like, wait, why does brick look like Nether brick now? By the way, my house is like deliberately ugly square. Don't worry if you haven't seen it before. That's just how things are. There's a few things which are just like, wait, why did that need to change? And yeah, although I don't entirely understand it, it's not too big of a deal, because the majority of your world, like, let me just fly over a big section here. The majority of your world is going to stay pretty much how you left it, which is great that it can look this, you can spot it immediately, but it still looks much better. And the same is true for mobs. You can spot them, but they look cuter. And the same is also true for most items. Like, if we look through the item set here, you can just, again, immediately spot what they are, and then the texture looks better in some way. The style, I guess the style in this texture pack, the well designed, I would say that, Nox Crew, so the people who made this, did a really good job with this texture pack. Like, there are so many mistakes that people seem to make, or at least so many annoying things that people do with other texture packs that seem to be not found here. And even if we look at, like, the spawn eggs, for instance, they turn them into literal pictures of their mobs, and it's one of those things where you have to be like, I'm on board with that. So let's spawn in just a few little things that you might be on board with. So, let's get a creeper. I guess we're in peaceful, and that's why that's not going to work. So what we'll do is we'll grab, should we do that anyway? Let's just, settings. I'm sure we can change the game mode to easy quickly, because I want to spawn in a creeper. I wasn't so aware we were in peaceful. So we're going to go to easy right now, just because, like, mobs will be useful. And here's a creeper. Seriously, look at this thing. This is a real part of this texture pack. So, yeah, really love all the item textures. Really love the way existing, like, worlds transfer over. Like, very few worlds do as well. And there's just a lot of tiny details in the texture pack that look better than you could even expect from any world. So let's just spawn a bunch of creepers and let some of them burn, because, I feel like that's the logical thing to do with new lava. Like, let's push a creeper into it. Let's see how that goes. Oh, it doesn't go too well, does it? So, yeah, every mob looks amazing. Every item looks visible to me. Maybe I just like minimalistic stuff, and that's why. But yeah, personally, I thought I was really on board with this one. I like this a lot. And if you're scared about, like, is 8-bit really a good idea? In this case, it is. I think Minecraft is a game, even though it is, like, a fairly, simple game by itself, managing to, like, take that simplicity, take it down another level, seems to work some wonders, at least for my eyes. And yeah, for a few examples around here, you can see how, like, oh, look at the desert. The desert blends so well. There's a lot of just examples of, like, oh, how Minecraft Bedrock version has, like, a lot of issues with its color scheme? I think they fixed all those issues with this texture pack and then went beyond that. Like, this is the best looking, kind of color scheme for the game ever. And it's, yeah, they did a lot of really impressive tiny things together, and they made this. However, before the end of the texture pack review, because I feel like there's a couple of things you want to see, let's show off the Nether and let's show off the end, because, I feel like every texture pack review I used to do for Minecraft Tons texture packs had 3 major parts. There was the Overworld, your existing builds, your new builds, etc. There was your Underground, and there was the Nether/End. So let's show off all of those things in this video, just in case you want to kind of compare. So here's the Nether, as you can see. Netherrack, it looks like, granite, which is, I guess it's an improvement. I mean, I'm glad they changed it and they made it look better. If we look at Nether brick, you can see how it looks, like, I don't know what this even looks like, but it looks like some solid magma, like molten, I guess it looks a little bit like obsidian brick, it looks really, really good. I like it a lot. Like, I would actually use both these blocks, probably Netherrack for, like, granite stuff, and I'd use the Nether brick for something if I was using this, so really, really big fan of that. Glowstone, I don't know why it looks like cheese, but, like, I mean, I like it a little bit more than glowstone, but I think most people would say they like it less. And then looking around the rest of this here, you can see there's also look at the fire texture. It just looks so much better. And then look at the magma when you can see a whole sea of it. There's just something about this, right? This that's just, like, immediately draws your eye. So a couple more things before we end up here, because again, looking at this, you can see how it's looking. It's looking pretty nice and stuff. But let's talk about a couple more things before we go. That is going to be the end, and that is going to be the underground section, of course. So again, underground, there's not really too much to say. Like, again, you're going to be able to spot it just fine, but just in case you want a real feel of it, because again, these texture pack videos are to help you understand it as well. Like, in my opinion, I like it, but I think I think a lot of people are going to say they don't like it based on that. So to give you they might have their own opinion. So what we're going to do is we're going to go underground, and I'm going to show you exactly what's going on down there. So hopping all the way underground, and as you can see, my underground mine, again, it's perfectly functional. It's easier to work out what's what, where's where, and you can mine here just fine, in my opinion. Like, nothing's too stylistically changed. They got the really good color palette, they got a really good color scheme, etc. Oh, this is how, that huge room that I have underground, this is what it used to be like back when I transferred it. Wow, that's kind of crazy. But yeah, I know a lot of people who don't watch Let's Play confused here, but you can see how basically, yeah, it's easy, it's working, it's all good. If we ignore the magma, which is in front of me right there, things work just fine. Everything is, like, workable underground. I'd say it's not 100% perfect, though. There's something that does get on me, like, when you compare, like, stone to, like, gravel, the lack of difference between them, and there's something about that overlap that isn't great, and given that you find a lot of gravel below ground, it's one of the key issues of our day in Minecraft. That's not great, but that is a thing. So let's do one more thing today, and let's go to the end so you can see that too, because again, some people have a lot of stuff going on in the end, particularly now you can go so far in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look into that. So given that I don't actually know where those blocks are in the creative menu, because again, I don't really know, how do I, can't use the search bar apparently. So we're just going to type in end. I'm going to grab ourselves an end portal, which would be this one, and the eye fender is going to be this one, I assume. Yep, it is. Again, I don't actually like the end portal frame itself. It looks a little bit like, extra ugly in this one. Maybe that's just me being picky this time. But there's the immortal frames. You know, if you're gonna go to the stronghold, I don't think this is a good world to like play all the way to survival to the end, I guess. Just because, like, you know, this isn't looking so great. And the end itself is actually probably going to be one of my biggest kind of, like, end criticisms as well. Because the end stone, like, taking it to blue, I'm not sure why they did that. Like, I mean, again, like, let me just, again, I really like the Nether. Really am on board with the underground, like, it works. Really like the overworld, really love the stylistic things they do with all the biomes. But the end is one of those places where you look at it and you just say, it's not quite there. You know, if I was going to rate everything out of 10, I'd say, like, Overworld, 10 out of 10. It blows my mind away. Nether, like a 9.5 out of 10. It's amazing. Underground is like a, you know, like an 8.5, a 9 out of 10. And then the end, it's like, ugh. You know, like I guess a 4 out of 10 or something. Like, the dragon looks nice enough, but then if you look at everything else, it just doesn't go together correctly. Like, everything looks the same. Like, the Endermen are the same color as the Endstone, which is the same color as the sky, which is a similar color to the, you know, the obsidian pillars. Like, everything is kind of close together, and that's not good in the end, I don't think. I feel like having the pillars be separate to the island, which is separate to the mobs on the island, I feel like that's a good way to do things. I don't think, you know, the Nether was beautifully contrasted colors. The Overworld is beautifully contrasted colors, and then they're like, what if we had a boring dimension where you couldn't see anything? And, you know, maybe I haven't actually been to the End Islands, I'll be honest with you here, so maybe if I go to one of those, so we just TP me, there's an easier way to do this actually. It would just TP me all the way to one of the islands. Maybe those look amazing, but I don't personally see it. I'm not sure why they would do this. But yeah, let's go all the way out to one of those. 1,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. So let's see what's over here, shall we? I mean, the cacti, the chorus plants look okay, but in general, yeah, this is where the texture pack falls short, in my opinion. If you don't go to the end, which admittedly is a lot of people, I can recommend this. But if you are one of those players who likes to do the survival stuff, where you're going to the end every, day or two in playtime to make sure you get a new elytra or to get a new set of armor, or some people like to duplicate diamonds this way. Not duplicate, but hunt for diamonds, I guess I should say. Wrong word. Farm diamonds, I guess, is a better one. Then that's one thing you could probably, I wouldn't count this texture pack as being good for that, because again, it's a really stylistically pleasing, at least for me, texture pack in every other way, but I feel like there's not much to be said about this end. Although maybe, again, in your opinion, that's the cool thing about these reviews, it allows you to actually see the thing and get an opinion on it. Maybe you hated this and you know that now. Maybe you love this end and you hate everything else and you want to buy this just for that. That's the thing these videos are here for, to help you understand Minecraft store content a little bit better and to maybe know what is and isn't worth your purchase. So for now, I hope you did all enjoy this video. I hope you got something from it. Please do like this video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot. Listening, you do enjoy this sort of video, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Tiny Footprints texture pack by Nox Crew, and I'm going to say it's the best texture pack I reviewed so far, but I can't necessarily recommend it to everyone. I can recommend it to most people though. So yeah, those are my opinions. I want to just get back to the overworld, honestly. So let's just kill me. That's the easiest way to do that. Oh, you can't. Oh, I typed it wrong. Let's just kill me. Let's just get back to the good for the end here. Okay, I didn't really die. So we're gonna have to go into survival to die. I guess we could just jump off the edge at that point. It's weird that whatever, we're gone. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I want to show off the overworld just one more time to just leave a good impression in my mouth rather than a bad one. So here is the overworld. Look how wonderful this is. Actually, the inside's not so great. This is the overworld. Look how wonderful it is. Look how wonderful the colors are designed. That's what I'm going to remember, and maybe that's what you will too. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.